I was getting today, but I'm just returning from an outdoor class that I taught at Middleton at the senior center. And that wind is cold. It's gorgeous out there. It's like 63, but there's a bite in that wind. It feels like autumn has found us. So let's start in a standing position. If you have props, blocks, a strap, they might be useful as we go through our flow today. So finding mountain pose, remembering that that means the feet are hip distance apart. So check it out down there. And the feet are parallel. Now all the joints stack. Take a moment to do that. Take a moment to feel each part of the body stacked, one on top of the other. The shoulders open gently in the front and palms face forward. Now, chances are you might need to draw your chin back a little bit. I'm going to turn sideways. We tend to be like this with the chin jutting forward. We call it tech neck. I don't even have to explain that, do I? So draw your shoulders underneath your ears. And you can even reach up and feel that. Make sure that that's happening. At the same time, you're reaching up through the crown of the head. And just feel this. Feel this balance, feel this alignment, and then shift. Start to sway. Feeling the surface of both feet. All four corners. So under the big toe, under the little toe, and inner and outer heel. And find your way to balance. Feeling the shin bones, balanced over the ankles. We'll start with a little pranayama practice today. That's a breath practice. And this is a waking up invigorating practice. Anytime you focus on manipulating your inhalation, that will activate the nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight nervous system, but it's an energizing waking up breath. So you break the inhale, the in breath up into three parts. So it's inhale, 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 long, full exhale. And there's movement with the arms. So it's inhale, 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 long exhale. Here we go. Three more. One more. Let it go. Just find mountain pose again and pause to feel sensation in the body. Maybe even noticing beyond the physical sensation and feeling the energetic sensation in the body. Hopefully you feel energized. So let's go through a sun breath, which is common in a yoga practice and part of a warm-up from time to time. We're going to inhale and reach the arms overhead. Bring the gaze up with the hands. This is called Urdhva Hastasana, high salute. Turn the palms away from each other and fold forward. Bend your knees. This is called Uttanasana, or forward fold. Take your fingertips to your shins. Push into your shins and lift halfway up. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of at a right angle here. This is called Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Fold forward again, bend the knees, Uttanasana. Now pull the feet away from each other. Feel that, activate the hips and swing your arms out and up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Let's do three more of those. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Pull the feet away from each other, support your back. Inhale, reach up. Look up, bring the hands together. Watch the thumbs as you bring your hands home to the heart. Two more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift halfway, long spine, axial extension. Exhale, fold. Pull the feet away from each other. Inhale the arms up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Let's do one more. And this time focus on all the movements, all of the joints in the body involved with this movement. And the movement serves to lubricate the joints and keep the joint spaces healthy. Pull forward and then pull the feet away from each other. Inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. And release the arms down to the side. Pause here again in Tadasana, mountain pose. So the words that I'm using are Sanskrit words, and that's the language of yoga. Asana means pose. Most of these words that I say as we move through poses have asana on the end of them. Take 3 more breaths. And then open the eyes if they're closed. Let's review a couple of standing poses. The first one is Warrior One or Virabhadrasana One. I'll show you in kind of both ways here, both planes. I'll face you first time. Take your hands to your hips. Step back with your right foot. Now come onto the ball of the right foot and then drop your heel inward. So you have a little external rotation of the back leg and the back foot. Kind of peek down there and look. Look at the front foot and bend into the knee, only the knee. And watch the knee arrive right above the ankle and track right down the center of the foot. Now bring the ears over the shoulders, keep the shoulders over the hips, and bring your hands home to the heart. This is Warrior One, Virabhadrasana One. I'll take 3 more breaths here. We're going to weave this one into a sun salutation here in a moment. Feel the strength of the warrior. And then as you exhale, push your hands down and step forward. This time I'm going to turn so you can see a sideways view. Finding mountain pose. We're going to step back with the left leg. Come onto the ball of the foot. If you're on the ball of the foot, it's a lunge position with the legs. Drop the heel inward. A little external rotation to the back leg, about 45 degrees. Now take your hands to your hips. Draw your right hip back and wrap your left hip forward. It's a tiny movement. Now reach to the pinky toe edge of that back foot. That will lift you up out of your knee. Take your hands to heart. Keep the shoulders over the hips and the ears over the shoulders. Bend into the right knee. Keeping hands to heart, let's take 3 nice breaths in Warrior One. Virabhadra was a warrior in Hindu mythology. So Virabhadrasana, asana. And on your exhale, push your hands step forward. I'm going to come back to the top of the mat. If you have blocks, feel free to gather them and place them on the outside of your feet, outside of your ankles as you're standing in mountain pose. And if you don't have blocks, we'll manage. We're going to weave that warrior pose into a sun salutation. That's Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands to the blocks. We're going to step back with the right foot. Now turn the heel inward and lower the foot. Now you've got that little external rotation of the right foot. Bend the left knee and rise up from here. Arriving in Warrior One. Breathe. Making sure to reach to the pinky toe edge of that back leg and making sure the front knee doesn't go past the toes and stays lined up over your ankle. 1 more breath. And on an exhale, we're going to fold forward. Drop the knee of the right leg and walk the left knee. Breathe while you move the blocks off the mat. We're going to come to the belly. Lying down on the belly, put the forehead on the mat. Take your hands right next to your armpits. Elbows point up. Let's do 3 baby cobra. Inhale, lift the chest, keep the low ribs on the mat, and exhale down. 2 more, inhale, and exhale. Last one, inhale, and exhale, pressing into table, hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Boy, the dog's got a burst of energy here. Lift up into downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths here in downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, look between your hands and do your best to tiptoe to the top of the mat. And it's not easy, so just enjoy it. Bring the feet hip distance apart. As you inhale, lift halfway. And as you exhale, fold. Pull the feet away from each other. Inhale the arms out and up. And exhale the hands home to the heart. Back to Tadasana. Let's do the second side. Inhale up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale. I forgot to have you put your blocks back if you're using them. Step back with the left leg. Stay on the ball of the foot and drop the heel inward. Have about a 45-degree angle, an external rotation of that back foot. The right knee is over the right ankle and you rise up. Bring hands to the hips. We're going to shift right hip back. Wrap the left hip forward. Reach to the pinky toe edge back. And keep this knee over the ankle. Shoulders over hips. Ears over shoulders. Hands to heart. Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Breathe. Feel all the little micro movements happening in the body, especially ankles and feet right now, to keep you balanced. And on your next exhale, fold forward, hands find the blocks or the mat. Come to the ball of the left foot, drop the knee. Bring the right knee back towards the left. Move the blocks, come to the belly. And we'll do 3 baby cobra. Boy, she's got a lot of energy. She never has this much energy. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. And exhale. Press into table. Bring your big toes together and walk your knees wide, and we'll sit back in a child's pose. Letting your belly hang between the thighs. Bring your forehead to the mat or cross your hands underneath your forehead. This is a resting pose, so let's make it that way. As you exhale, release all the muscles. I'll take about 3 more breaths. Now bring your hands forward and press up the table. Miley, get over here. Come on, lay down. Go over and lay down. Of course, she's got to be right in front of the camera. Go lay down. Go. And tuck your toes. Lift up into downward facing dog. Bring your gaze between your hands and tiptoe to the top. Feet under hips as you arrive. Inhale, lift halfway, long spine. So you're reaching in both directions. Hips go back, crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold. Pull your feet away from each other. Inhale the arms up. And exhale the hands down. Home to the heart. And pause. And release. Oh, good. She laid down back there. I hope she stays. She never has that much energy. All right, so that was warrior 1. Now we're going to do a lunge. which is different with the placement of the foot in the back. You stay on the ball of the foot instead of dropping the heel. So it's less stable. It takes a little more balance to do a lunge. I want you to take your hands to your hips and step back with your right foot. Stay on the ball of the foot. So now your feet and legs just open like a pair of scissors. Since this is more of a balance challenge, it's always a good idea when you're starting out to heel toe that front foot, so it will be your left, maybe one heel toe to the left. Now your feet are more on railroad tracks and less on a tightrope. Bend into the left knee. Keep shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Knee is right over the ankle and tracking right down the center of the foot. As you fatigue through your practice, it's easy for the knee to start drifting inward, and that's not good for knee health. That's not good alignment. Bring your hands to heart. This is crescent lunge. Let's lift the arms up. You can separate the hands and keep the arms shoulder distance, or you can keep the hands in Anjali Mudra. Let's take a little back bend here, remembering this is more of a balance challenge. Look up and come into a bit of a back bend. Notice the increase in the wobbles when you do that. That's good movement though. That's stabilizer muscles working to keep you balanced. 2 more breaths. And exhale the hands to the heart. Push the hands back, step forward. And we'll take the second side. After we take the second side, we'll weave this into a sun salutation. Hands to hips, step back with the left leg. Ball of the foot. Heel toe the right foot. One little space to the right. Keep your hips square. So with hands to the hips, draw the right hip back and let the left hip wrap forward. When you reach back with your leg, it's easy to kind of open up through the hips. So we don't want to do that here. We want to keep the hips square to the front of the mat. Now bring your hands to heart, bend into that front knee. Crescent lunge on the ball of the foot. Lift the arms up by the ears. The hands can separate or the hands can stay together. You can stay here or come into a back bend and bring the gaze up towards the ceiling or the sky. And breathe. 2 more breaths. Feel the wobbles. Exhale the hands to the heart. Push the hands back, step forward. All right, let's bring our blocks by the ankles if you're using them. Finding mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Lift halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, hands find the mat or the blocks. Step back with the right leg. Stay on the ball of the foot. And before you leave here, heel toe the left foot open. One little space. Now you're on railroad tracks. Keep the knee bent. Inhale, rise up. Hands to heart. You can stay here or lift the arms and come into a back bend. Notice as you lift your gaze, chances are your balance is a little more difficult, and that's okay. You're building new skills with your agility and balance. And exhale, fold forward. Hands find the blocks or the mat. Drop the right knee. Bring the left knee back. Breathe while you move the blocks. Come to your belly. And this time we're going to come up into a higher cobra. So slide your hands a little lower on the ribs. Tuck your chin, bring your forehead down. As you inhale, rise up. Keep a little bend in the arms. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up. And exhale down. 1 more. Exhaling down. Forehead down, slide the fingers, the hands by the armpits, press into table. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's hold here for 5 breaths. So bend your knees a lot. Lay your belly on your thighs, and then as you inhale, send the sit bones straight up and reach down with the heels. Breathe. 3 more nice deep breaths. Look between the hands, tiptoe to the top. Arriving on an inhale, lift halfway. And as you exhale, fold. Pull the feet away from each other. Inhale the arms up. And exhale the hands to the heart. Let's take the second side. Inhale up. And exhale, fold. Get those blocks next to the ankles if you're using them. Inhale, lift halfway along the spine. Exhale, hands to the mat or to the blocks. Step back with the left leg. Stay on the ball of the foot. Heel toe the right foot open. And then as you inhale, rise up. Hands to hips, drawing left hip back, wrapping right hip forward. Shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Take a peek at that front knee. Make sure it's over the ankle and you can see your toes. Inhale, reach up. And take a bit of a back bend. So spinal extension. These back bends are also invigorating, like manipulating the inhale. Back bends, extensions through the spine also activate the sympathetic nervous system. A way to wake up. 2 more. And exhale, fold forward. Hands find the blocks or the mat. Drop the left knee. Bring the right knee back to meet it. Move the blocks. Come to the belly. And let's find crocodile, a resting pose. Cross the forearms under the forehead. Separate the legs, left and right edges of the mat, and rest. It always feels good here to bend the knees and windshield wiper your shins. Bring your hips along for the ride, releasing the low back. And then eventually let the shins find the mat again. And as you exhale, nice, let it go. And exhale. We'll take 5 more breaths here. And now press back into table. Cross your ankles behind you and sit back on the mat. We will go over some seated poses. If you have a strap, this is a good time to get it over here. Extend the right leg long on the mat. And take the strap around the sole of the foot and wrap your hands in the strap. We're going to massage the sole of the foot. If you don't have a strap, bring your foot up here and massage your foot with your hand. We're releasing the connective tissue, the fascia, along the sole of the foot, but that in turn releases the fascia all along the back of the body, giving you a little flexibility in your forward folds. And now we'll switch feet. Again, using the strap if you have it, or draw your foot up and massage the foot with your hands. Now bring both legs forward, both legs out long, keeping the feet hip distance apart. Toss the strap around the soles of both feet. And if you don't have a strap, you just sit up tall. Wrap your hands in the strap. Use the strap to help pull you to the sit bones and tip your pelvis forward so the belly button kind of reaches forward a little bit. You'll feel that bring an inward curve to the low back, and that keeps the low back in a healthy, aligned position for the forward fold. I'm pushing my feet out into the strap, so I don't let the strap pull my feet together. So there's a little outward isometric contraction of the legs. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold forward any amount until you feel this in your low back. Once you feel it in your low back, you've gone a little too far. So back up. This should feel like a stretch in the back of the thighs and the hamstrings. Breathe. This is called Paschimottanasana. And then inhale, rise up. If you're using a strap, toss it off to the side. And sitting with the legs long, and that can be hard for some of us. You can bend the knees a little bit. Again, the key is the low back. You want to feel a little stretch in the backs of the legs. If you have tight hamstrings, you'll know it because you're going to feel this in the low back if you straighten the legs. So try to inch the knees up until you just don't feel it in the back anymore. Dandasana, staff pose. Hold the foot on the right to the mat. Take your hands, fingertips to the mat. We're going to shift bottom up towards the heel, almost like you want to stand on the right foot. Wrap your right arm around the knee to pull the belly up towards the thigh and the thigh towards the belly. Now switch arms. Take the left arm and wrap the elbow around the knee. You can keep the forearms like this, or you can take the right hand behind you, push down into the mat, rise up through the spine. We're going to turn and look over the right shoulder. Keep the thigh close to the belly. Stay up on the sit bones. Keep acting like you want to step on the right foot. Every inhale reminds the spine to be tall, reminds all of those vertebrae to be stacked, and every exhale is a reminder to twist. Now breathe. And then unwind, extend both legs out long again, Dandasana. Sit up on those sit bones and feel a difference left and right. Maybe you feel a difference and maybe you don't. Just notice. Now second side. Bend the left knee. Draw the sole of the foot up to the mat. Take the hands behind you. Lift your hips up and push them towards your heel. Sitting tall, like you want to stand on the left foot. Wrap the right elbow in front of the left knee. Take the left hand behind you and push down. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist. Now the belly's pinned against the thigh, so it's harder to breathe, and that's okay. We're working another muscle called the diaphragm, the respiratory diaphragm, and that's the primary muscle of respiration. So it's important that that muscle is strong. As you inhale, feel a stretch in the back. And then exhale, feel a softening in the belly. Pull the thigh in tight. 3 more breaths. And then unwind both legs out long, Paschimottanasana. Using your strap or not, let's do Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So this is Dandasana, sit up on the sit bones. Exhale. The spine stays neutral, so the movement comes right at the hip crease. You're folding forward. And again, pay attention to the low back. When you've gone beyond the stretch that the hamstrings are able to give to you, they're going to start tugging on those sit bones and cause stress in your low back and your lumbar spine, and we don't want that. And then inhale, rise up, bend both knees, and open the knees left and right. Bring the soles of the feet together, and with your feet right here in front of you, slide your thumbs down in between the feet, into the arch, into the sole of the feet. We'll massage both feet here. So really working around toe, each toe a little pull. Now take your ankles, pull on your ankles. Feel how that can bring the heart forward. Feel how that will tilt the pelvis forward, bringing that nice inward curve to the low back. Keep that. Fold forward here. I'm pulling a bit with my ankles, but my spine is staying neutral. Leading with the heart. And flexibility can vary a lot here. If you're able to keep the knees nice and open, bring the forearms to the shins and let the weight of the forearms help open the knees. And push back with the knees, push back with the shins. And it's a little give and take here, almost like little gentle butterfly wings, opening and closing, or a little flutter. And you will give the muscles time to release and perhaps invite you a little deeper here. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. 2 more breaths. Now inhale, rise up. Keep the legs in this shape. Take your right hand behind you, and you can lean back a little with that hand. Take the left hand, pick up your left knee, and stack it on your right, and that will bring you into a twist. Looking over the right shoulder. And breathe here. And inhale back to center, so back through Baddha Konasana. Take the left hand behind you. My fingers are pointing away from my hip. Take the right hand to the right knee, lift it, and stack it on the left as you twist and look over the left shoulder. Breathe. Now face forward, come back through Baddha Konasana. And this time, extend the legs a little longer so the soles of the feet won't be together. Sit tall and fold forward here. Spine stays neutral. If you can reach the feet, you can grip the toes and kind of pull. Feel that tilt the pelvis forward. Keeping the back lined up, maybe you can fold forward a little more. Breathe into the back now. And inhale, rise up. Extend the right leg out to the side, nice and long. Draw the left heel towards your pubic bone. So my knee is open wide and my leg is open wide. I'm going to turn my right hand up so the palm faces upward, laying my forearm on my shin, keeping my chest square with the short edge of the mat. So this isn't turning and looking at the leg, it's keeping chest forward. As the forearm comes down, we're going to reach up and over with the left arm, lateral flexion and extension. And notice the sit bones underneath you. Keep especially the left sit bone anchored, rooted down as you reach up with the left arm. And breathe. We'll take 2 more breaths here. And then inhale, rise up. And we'll switch sides. Extend the left leg out long. Draw the right heel towards the pubic bone. And play with the placement of your legs. See how wide you can get things without straining. You want a nice stretch. The chest is square to the front edge of the mat, and it stays that way as we lean over. Anchor the right sit bone this time as you reach up and over with the right arm. Breathe into the right ribs. Feel that inhale. Stretch the muscles between the ribs. Those are called intercostal muscles, and they're secondary muscles of respiration, so they're important too. And they work hard all day, so let's give them a nice stretch. 2 more breaths. Inhale, rise back up. Extend both legs out wide. Upavista Konasana. This is another one that can be difficult if you have tight hamstrings or tight adductor muscles, the muscles that pull the legs back towards the midline. So you can place blocks under the knees here if that helps, or a towel or a blanket. I like to dig my heels into the mat and pull my heels towards me without letting them move. And that tips the pelvis forward. You'll feel that in the low back. It just feels like the right place for the back to be. Instead of rounding forward and reaching with the low back, we're going to lift, send the belly forward a bit, anteriorly forward tilt of the pelvis. And this might be enough. I'm activating the muscles of my legs by pulling the heels towards me. If you'd like to fold forward here, keep the spine neutral. Movement is right here at the hip creases. Heart is leading the way. And it's helpful to bring the fingertips to the mat to help this descent. Again, pausing as you feel like, it's probably all the further I need to go. It's just a nice deep stretch all along the length of the muscles, nothing in the joints. And with a few breaths, sometimes the muscles will release a bit and invite you a little deeper. If you have the flexibility to reach out and lasso your big toes, you pull on the toes. Remember, we don't have a lot of opportunities in yoga to pull. So pull and let that bring the heart forward even further. Witness all the sensations though. So you are your best teacher. I offer you suggestions and places to stop along these routes. You don't have to come into the full expression of the pose. 2 more breaths. Now bring your fingertips to the floor and walk your way back up. Bring the legs back into Dandasana, staff pose. Sit tall, feel the legs. And then maybe you fold forward here, any amount. And then inhale, rise up. Let's lie down on our backs. We'll do a couple things on our back and then settle in for a little relaxation. As you lie on your back, keep your knees bent and keep the knees and the feet hip distance apart. Let your arms lay down on the floor with the palms facing up. Pause here in this shape now and just notice sensations, both physical and energetic sensations. What are you feeling? Open your left knee. Now I'm not going to mirror you now, so I'm actually going to use my left knee, like the page of a book. Pick up your left ankle and place it on your right thigh, and then push it beyond the thigh so you can flex the left toes towards the knee. That will protect the knee. Now reach up with the left hand and push the knee open. And release. Now use muscles of the legs. So you may want to flip the palms so they face down. So you can push down as the knees and the thighs lift up. And once you get here, you can lace your fingers behind your right thigh. Use your left elbow to push into your left knee, keeping that knee open, the hip open as you draw the thighs closer. Do some circles through the right ankle here. And go the other direction. And then extend the right leg up nice and long. Reach through the heel. Breathe into the stretch. Your breath is your best teacher. So if you notice that you're holding your breath or the breath's become very shallow, stop and assess what's going on. You probably need to back out of whatever we're doing until the breath can be easy again. Now drop the right heel, uncross, bring both feet to the mat just like we started out. Palms face up. Take a moment to notice left and right sides of the body. And second side, open the right knee like the page of a book. Then lift and place the ankle past the left thigh. Keep the foot flexed. Reach up and push the right knee away. So you push the right knee away and then you hold that. You can release. Turn the palms so they face down. Push into the hands as you lift the thighs. Now reach behind the left thigh. Lace the fingers and pull. Use your right elbow to keep that right knee open, right hip open. Do some circles through the left ankle. One way and then the other. Extend the left leg up long. Reach through the heel. Breathe. And drop the feet back to the mat. This time, keeping the knees bent, walk the feet wide, left and right edges of the mat. Open your arms out like a T, the shape of a T or a gentle W. We're going to windshield wiper the knees to the left and take your gaze to the right. As you inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take the knees to the right and the gaze to the left. Let's do 2 more each side. Movement with breath. This calms the nervous system. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system. The rest and digest. So 1 more each way. And come back to center. It's time for a couple of moments here to relax. We call this Shavasana. You have options. You can keep your feet wide on the mat and just let the knees come together. Place the arms in a comfortable place with your palms up. This is constructive rest. Or extend the legs long, keeping the legs wide to the left and right edges of the mat, allowing the toes to roll out, the hips to roll open. And lift one shoulder at a time and tuck the shoulder blades underneath your back, like hands underneath your lungs. Once again, find your breath and make no effort to change it. Just notice the sensation in the back of the throat with the inhale and exhale. We'll rest here with the focus on the breath for a moment or two. Every exhale brings a little more release of all of the muscle fibers. Let it go. Begin now to deepen your breath. Don't do anything else, just a bigger inhale and a longer emptying exhale. Begin moving your fingers and toes. Let that movement expand now. Ankles, wrists, elbows, turning your head. Just move. And on an inhale, reach long through your whole body. Good morning, stretch. And as you exhale, draw your knees to your chest. Really pull the thighs up there, and we're going to rock from elbow to elbow. And then find your way to your right side. Stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders, resting your head on your upper arm. And blink and look around a few times. And then reach long with the top leg and turn, placing your hands on the floor and rise back up. Come to a seated position. Take a breath or two just to notice the sensations physically in the body. and also energetically. Hopefully, you feel a sense of being awake but relaxed. Let's inhale, reach up one more time. Bring the hands together in Anjali Mudra. Exhale, drawing the hands to the heart. May you have peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful world. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this lunchtime beginner yoga class. See you next time.